So I'm going to try to do this as delicately as I can because I don't want to feed the occult. I don't want this to cause anybody to go down a rabbit hole because there's no need to. At the bottom of the rabbit hole for this is occultism. So there's no reason to feed it. It's been fed enough. The best way for it to die is let it fade away. However, it's regarding this former assassinated president, okay? And I'm not going to say the names. I think it's pretty obvious, okay? We know this was what he was referred to as. There's a reason for that. That family was serving this. So to tie this without letting people like think there's, more out there to have to understand. This is why your current podcasters, the ones that, in my opinion, hate America, that want to just focus on the most recent assassination because they serve the occult. Really what they go back to is back in, the 40s. There was the American Bunt Party, and they were a neo-Nazi group. They were outright. They had a big following in New York and everywhere, okay? This party has never died. So when you hear people like Candace, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker, carry on about what a great president he was because he was going after Israel, most people would get pulled into that and think, oh, he was. Yeah, no, you know why? Because their old man, their dad, hated Jews. If he would have gotten his way, their dad, we wouldn't have gone into World War II, which would have served your Nick Fuentes, Tucker, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and there wouldn't be any more Jews. Because they were going to exterminate all of them. They managed to exterminate 6 million. That's bad enough. So that was the reason he was going after Israel. The boys turned out just like their dad, okay? There's a reason he said, I'm not here to do anything for you. This wasn't about loving America. That's why he made it clear that this is about what you're going to do for me, and I'm going to create the Peace Corps, and I'm going to send Americans that aren't going to get paid, and they're going to volunteer because they believe me and think I love this country, and they're going to go to Argentina, Latin America, and they're going to get abused and treated like slaves and raped and assaulted, and then the Peace Corps isn't going to be there because it wasn't to do anything about it. They just wanted to hush it up because when you're serving that party, then you don't love America. And you will know who they are because they're the ones right now still trying to cause division. And the tagline they use, whether it's Nick Fuentes, Tucker, all of them, what Candace is that America first. That's the America first line that neo-Nazi American Bunt Party used. That was their slogan, was America first. So because Trump has said that in a couple speeches, they attach to him, but they're not about make America great again because he wasn't about that. No, of course not, because we were one of the people taking that Nazi party down with the other allies. So this was a continuation of, we're going to get America. For those that don't know who Heinrich Himmler is, he is the biggest psychopath, murderous POS in the SS Nazis. The amount of people he murdered is unimaginable. This was his castle. Camelot. Himmler was so obsessed with the Arthur Legends and the Knights of the Round Table that he created his own potty Camelot here. Yeah. Hitler had them, had certain people out looking for the Holy Grail, all this. But that whole party it was like Christian mysticism, but it was in occultism. It would be what your secret societies, that hidden, that's what they were doing. So where that big Rome church comes into it, because they were collaborating in some ways, because while that was going on, what was important to them was that they could continue to teach their Catholic education, and a ton, not all, but a lot of the biggest leaders of the church looked the other way. But again, that's the biggest idolatry church ever. I mean, it's occultism that wraps itself and says we're Christian. So all of these people have a religion in common, a couple of religions, let's say, but really the main one is occultism, okay? They all have this hating Israel, hating the Jews in common. And the most recent neo-Nazis we have, I mean, this is why you see people like Nick Fuentes, because they hate the Jews, they hate Israel, they hate women. The Nazis did. They did. But these are the modern day. That party has never died. I don't know how you get rid of it. I don't know what you do about it. So a ton of them came in here after World War II. And that's just been this slow decline. When JFK came in, I said the gates of hell blew open when he got in. And this is what Himmler said about the invasion of the East. It is a question of existence, thus it will be a racial struggle of pitiless severity in which 20 to 30 million Slavs and Jews will die through military action and crisis of food supply. Like, so why anybody would today want to be tied to this? And that's what Candace and all these people are serving. That's why they hate Israel, because this party has always been obsessed with wanting to annihilate the Jews. And of course, America would be number one on their list to want to take down. That's what that former assassinated president served. And this was interesting. In the crypt where an eternal flame was to burn, and the knights who served Himmler would be cremated after death, stand 12 concrete stools, one for each of his disciples, the top dozen SS generals. What do you know? So it was the same party. It was the same agenda. A beast that has wrapped up into it what it serves as the occult. And yet there's a part of that occult that hides itself in Christianity that collaborated with that back then. Then you come to America after World War II, and you have this former president's dad who hated the Jews. It was why he couldn't run himself for president. He made too many statements against Jews. Like really bad statements, though. Like that they should be annihilated. Yeah, his dad did. In fact, even this one and his brother said they needed to keep their dad out of the spotlight because it was drawing bad attention on them. So that's what they were always serving. And that has continued on. That is what Candace, Nick Fuentes, these people that you think, oh, they just naturally got these big time podcasts. No, they were given them because they serve that same party. And they say that it's America first, but that's why they then go after Trump, because Trump wasn't Make America, he was Make America Great Again, which didn't mean let's isolate completely. See, that's what their dad wanted to do, is America completely isolate. It's completely unrealistic in every way and unnecessary. But they weren't here to help America. And those current podcasters, they're no different than all this, including that most recent assassination. So there's no reason to go down any more rabbit holes.